Imagine you're working on a team project, and you want to try out a new feature without affecting the main codebase. That's where Git forks come in. A Git fork is essentially a copy of a repository that allows you to make changes without impacting the original project. But what happens when you fork a repo? Let's dive in and explore. So, what is a Git fork? Think of it like a photocopy of a document. You have the original document, and you make a copy of it. Now, you can make changes to the copy without affecting the original. In Git, this copy is called a fork. When you fork a repository, you're creating an independent copy of the project that you can modify without impacting the original. Now, you might be wondering, why do you need a Git fork? Well, let's consider a few scenarios. Imagine you're working on a team project, and you want to try out a new feature. You can create a fork of the repository, make changes, and then propose those changes back to the original project. This way, you can experiment without disrupting the main codebase. Additionally, Git forks make it easy to contribute to open source projects. You can fork the project, make changes, and then submit a pull request to the original project. So, how does Git forking work? It's actually quite straightforward. First, you create a fork of the repository. Then, you clone the fork to your local machine. From there, you can make changes, commit them, and push them to your fork. Finally, you can create a pull request to propose your changes back to the original project. Now, let's talk about the benefits of Git forking. One of the biggest advantages is that it allows you to experiment and try out new ideas without disrupting the main codebase. Additionally, Git forks make it easy to contribute to open source projects. By creating a fork, you can make changes and propose them back to the original project. This way, you can collaborate with others and improve the project. Let's consider a practical example. Imagine you want to contribute to a popular open source project on GitHub. You can fork the repository, clone it to your local machine, make changes, and then push them to your fork. From there, you can create a pull request to propose your changes back to the original project. Now, let's talk about some best practices for Git forking. One of the most important things is to keep your fork up to date with the original repository. You can do this by adding the original repository as a remote and then pulling in the changes. Additionally, it's a good idea to use a separate branch for new features and to test your changes before pushing them to your fork. In conclusion, Git forks are a powerful tool for developers. They allow you to experiment and contribute to projects without disrupting the main codebase. By following best practices and understanding how Git forking works, you can get the most out of this feature. And that's it for today's video. Next video, how to use Git submodules. Thanks for watching.